Dear students, now I am going to discuss mechanism and control of muscle contraction. So you have studied already ultrastructure of skeletal muscle. So it is in this just to remind you again. So this is the sarcolemma plasma membrane, then the sarcoplasm. The sarcolemma, it has invaded inside to the sarcoplasm in the form of a T tubule. It is called transverse tubule or T tubule, which is continuous with the sarcoplasmic reticulum, and you will see the entire the muscle cell is traversed by, you will find these are called they are myofibrils. So these myofibrils contains sarcomere. They are the contraction unit. Sarcomere is made out of actin and myosin myofilament. Their arrangements make the A band, I band, that is the striations what you see in the skeletal muscle fiber. So all these you have studied. So a muscle cell is packed with thousands of myofibrils. Each myofibril along its length have thousands of repeating units called sarcomere. This is a single sarcomere. So myofibrils surrounded by extensive network of smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So it is called sarcoplasmic reticulum. These are the reticulum. So sarcomere is the basic unit or the functional unit of contraction. It is limited by Z line or Z disc, and you will find the actin myofilament. You have studied the structure, and the in between you will find myosin myofilament. So this is the actin myofilament. It is all the structure. This is myosin in between. So this how exactly the contraction, mechanism of contraction, it is in 1954 itself, Hugh Huxley and Jane Hansen observed the changes in the sarcomere during contraction under electron microscope and also X-ray studies. They proposed sliding filament theory. So it is very famous sliding filament theory. So it states that muscle contracts because myofibril filaments slide past each other without actually changing their length. So during contraction, the actin filament slide past, you will find in between the myosin, so that you can see the without changing in its length. So the sarcomere shortens. So this is what you can see. The contractile filaments actin and myosin do not overlap during resting stage, but they overlap during contraction. So the neuronal stimulus brings the actin filaments of a sarcomere slide past, they come to the center, slide past in the space between the myosin filaments, resulting the shortening of the I band, but there is no change in the A band. So the overall two Z lines come closer now. So the two Z lines come closer. So that is what you can see, the sarcomere contracts. So this is what the sliding filament theory proposed by Huxley and the Jane Hansen. Huxley biophysicist and Jane Hansen zoologist. So during contraction, cross bridges of myosin make contact with the actin and repeatedly pull the actin filament towards the center. So this is what happens. You can see there are so many you will find the cross bridges you will find in the myosin. They make contact with the actin and repeatedly they pull the actin, so that you can see the sarcomere contracts. So this occurs in the sarcomere muscle fiber, that in all along the muscle fiber in all sarcomere. This happens at a time as per the neuronal stimulation. So muscle contract means all myofibrils inside the muscle cell, muscle myofibrils. So myofibril made out of sarcomeres. So all sarcomeres, all myofibrils, they contract as per the neuronal stimulus, so that muscle contract. So this is what you can see. This occurs along with the sarcomeres of muscle fiber in unison, result the shortening of the muscle fiber. This is an energy requiring process. ATP plus water, that is ATP is activity of the myosin cross bridge. You know that you have studied this myosin cross bridge. This has a ATPase activity. It bind with the ATP and hydrolyze the ATP and releasing energy that helps to make contact and pulling the actin. So this is what you can see, the cross bridge make contact and pull the actin, utilizing energy that released by the hydrolysis of the ATP. So this is what you will find, that this is in the stage of relaxation. So this is I band, so the light band, dark band, A band. So when that it contracts, so it is almost the 1/3 of the sarcomere reduces its size, so that you can see you can see the shortening of the I band. There is no change in the A band. So neuromuscular junction. So I said the motor neuron, it innervates the muscles, skeletal muscles. You will find the each muscle fiber is getting one you can see the connections of telodendron. So this the connection, this makes a neuromuscular junction. Muscle contraction brought under the stimulation of the motor neuron. So motor neuron, it is, you know, that nerve impulse, it brings the you know the that is what the stimulation, it is nothing but the nerve impulse, and in at the you know the synaptic end, neurotransmitter released. So skeletal muscles are innervated with the myelinated motor neuron. What you see here, the contact point of telodendron, this is the one. So with the sarcolemma of the muscle, so this is the sarcolemma of the muscle, it is called neuromuscular junction. So it is in the closer view. So you will find this is the muscle cell, and you will find the synaptic knob, it is get inserted in the synaptic cleft. So this is called neuromuscular junction. This is similar to synaptic junction. Okay, this synaptic knob of the motor neuron, it is inserted in the synaptic cleft. Okay, so the cleft of the sarcolemma. So the axoplasm, here you will find synaptic vesicles, you will able to see. So these synaptic vesicles filled with neurotransmitter, they release the neurotransmitter as per the stimulation. You will find the action potential or depolarization when reaches the synaptic knob, it releases all this. You have studied in the nerve impulse conduction, it releases neurotransmitter in the junction of the synaptic cleft. So sarcolemma at the synaptic cleft thrown into numerous folds called submural folds. You will find these are the submural folds. So you will find here these are the submural folds. So this is the sarcolemma, it undergoes, this is the folding, that is called submural folds. Okay, so this you know they have the binding site for the neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitter get released into the synaptic cleft. They have these folds, they have the receptors for this neurotransmitter. So the nerve impulse conducted to the synaptic knob stimulates and release the neurotransmitter in the neuromuscular junction, and similar manner how exactly it get released in the synaptic junction, just recall that. This neurotransmitter binds to the sites of this the receptor sites. So the depolarization occurs in the sarcolemma, that is the plasma membrane of the muscle now get depolarized. So you know that depolarization not going to remain in that region, it going to transmitted or conducted. Same thing happens here, the depolarization conducted all along the sarcolemma, Then the sarcolemma go into the deep in the form of T tubule. It is also go into the T tubule. T tubule is in contact with the sarcoplasmic reticulum. So this is what you can see, the neurotransmitter. This may be stimulatory or inhibitory. If it is stimulatory, it brings muscle contraction. It is inhibitory, it stops the muscle contraction going to stop. This is how exactly the picture you will find in the microscope. So these are the telodendron. So each muscle is getting one synaptic knob you will find. So this excitation and contraction, how it is get coupled here. So the coupling. So excitation means releasing of neurotransmitter that excite the the membrane in the sarcolemma. Then in response it contracts. So this is what you can see, excitation and contraction coupling. So excitation and contraction are the properties of the muscle fiber. You know that in resting muscle, myosin cross bridge, they are unable to make contact with the actin filament because the interference of the troponin complex, tropomyosin troponin complex. So you know that tropomyosin troponin of the actin not allowing the cross bridge of the myosin to contact with and pulling towards the center during the resting stage. When neuronal stimulus from the motor neuron in the form of nerve impulse bring the neurotransmitter in the neuromuscular junction, neurotransmitter evoke new depolarization wave in the sarcolemma, which conducted all along the plasma membrane of the muscle fiber and deep into the T tubule. So this also transmitted to the sarcoplasmic reticulum because T tubule in contact with the sarcoplasmic reticulum. So see, sarcoplasmic reticulum, now the calcium channel get opened for this depolarization wave, so that the calcium ions get released. So this is what you can see, T tubule these are all the, you will see the how in a sequence. So the neurotransmitter for the depolarization wave of the motor neuron, neurotransmitter released. Once neurotransmitter released, it will be brings the depolarization of the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Sarcoplasmic reticulum depolarization, it is the action potential carried through the T tubule. T tubule in contact with the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Sarcoplasmic reticulum releases calcium ions. These calcium ions going to bind with the tropomyosin troponin complex, so that the tropomyosin and troponin that is no more in contact with the actin, so that this cross bridge now make contact with the actin filament. Once a cross bridge make contact, it pulls the actin towards the center. So all these are the sequential reaction what you see. So this is what you can see, the calcium ions binds to the tropomyosin troponin complex. Now the molecular reorganization. So the tropomyosin troponin lifted, and now the cross bridge of the myosin make contact with the actin, pulls the actin towards the center. That is what the contraction. So this sequences you will find, myosin cross bridge make contact with the receptor. You will see here receptor site of the actin. There is a power stroke reaction. Power stroke means contact, then you can see that this is what you can see, power stroke. So this is a power stroke reaction. You can see myosin cross bridge utilizing energy from ATP. So the actin filaments pull towards the center of the sarcomere. Repeatedly this will happen. So the actin filament pulled at a distance of 10 nanometer, shortening the sarcomere, and this is what contraction. Molecular dance it is called, because it make contact with the actin utilizing ATP, it is pulling, again make contact, so another ATP pulling actin. So this is what you keep on pulling. So many cross bridge make contact with the actin, keeping on the pulling the action you can see. So this using energy from the ATP. So this is called the molecular dance and bringing the actin towards the center. So this is what you can see, the calcium ions get released. This is the neuromuscular junction, T-tubule, then sarcoplasmic reticulum, so that you can see now the actin is no more in contact with the, so the myosin cross bridge make contact and there is a contraction. So once there is a contraction, what happens, you can see once again this contraction for a while, immediately what happens, you can see the actin myosin is no more in contact with, because all these calcium are again they are pumped back to the sarcoplasmic reticulum, so that the myosin is no more contact. So now muscle relaxes. When cross bridges lose contact with the actin, sarcomere returns its original length passively. Force required for relaxation is the antagonistic muscles by or else by the gravity. So this is called relaxation. So you will able to see here in this cartoon how exactly the power stroke reaction pulling the actin, right? So it makes ATP and hydrolyzing, so it make contact with the actin and ADP is released, so it makes a power stroke reaction. This pull exerted by the muscle is called tension. The amount of tension produced depends on the cross sectional area of the muscle fiber and also the frequency of the neuronal nerve stimulus or neurotransmitter released on the surface of the muscle. Maximum tension occurs when the thick and thin filaments overlap to the greatest degree with the sarcomere. So the less tension produced when the sarcomere is just it is stretched. If more motor neurons are stimulated, more myofibrils contract and there is a greater tension of the muscle. So when in the muscle bundle there are so many muscle fiber. So all these fibers are receive the neurotransmitter. So that is the more tension is created. So it is used for heavy work. So the muscle force production depends on the number of the muscle cell gets stimulated. The motor cortex of the brain signals few neurons, few muscles respond and lighter work, and more neurons are more synaptic knobs are stimulated, or else more muscle fibers are stimulated, heavy work. So increase the frequency of the action potential, also increase the force. So these are all the how the muscle contraction is controlled. What type of contraction, whether it is heavy work, light work, all these are decide the amount of the tension going to build up in the muscle. So this is very important, students. You will see you keep exercise and keep your muscle in a proper tone by regular exercise. You can do that so that you get better sleep, you increase your muscle strength, and you can increase your immune system, and the lower risk of heart problems, stronger bones, and lower blood pressure, and it improves your complexion also, so mental activity also. So it is very important you keep your muscle in a proper tone. Thank you.